it's happening in America as well, is peptides are becoming a big thing. And I don't know if in the recovery space it's going to be a big thing, but in the life coaching space, it's going to be a big thing because people are healing. They're healing their outside because they're looking good, but they're not dealing with the mental and the emotional side of things. So I'm just finding a very interesting space at the moment.
What did you say? Peptides?
Peptides. So yeah, so a lot of people are the big ones are big pharmaceutical companies. Peptides have been around for years, insulin. So but certain peptides happen naturally in the body. The body signals and produces them naturally. So one of the big ones at the moment was Ozempic, was the first one with weight loss. The next one was Lujano, and the latest one is retatrutide. And people are having phenomenal results with, obviously, people that are obese are losing weight, diabetes. So it's having massive impacts on how people are actually looking physically. And obviously that gives them, they feel great, but they still don't deal with the core issues. Like me, for a lot of people don't know, I've got floating ribs, so I've got like a pigeon chest. So my body dysmorphia has been real. So it doesn't matter what I take, I'm not dealing with the real cause or the real issue. So I thought I'd just throw that in.
What's a pigeon chest?
They're looking at Wegovy for as a it's another like Manjaro, but to control the craving for alcoholism.
Yeah. So what's the one, the Retta? So my sister's been taking Ozempic, but with the studies for Retta, if you take it at the same time you want to reduce any destructive behaviors, then it can help you. Basically, it removes all of your cravings. So if you say, for example, you want to give up smoking when you start a course of Retta, if you do it, it removes those cravings for the nicotine as well, from some studies that I've seen.
Yeah, very interesting, Anthony. Exactly. So the big thing is it's all underground at the moment. So it's almost like steroids. The only real peptides that are on the market that are made by big pharmaceutical companies, and obviously they create a barrier to entry. But there are things that can help with inflammation in the gut, which is a big thing for people, that can help with skin, with hair, with nails, with mitochondrial production. So, and big pharma are pushing away from it. But RFK in America now is just, he's relaxed with the FDA's relaxed patents on 7. So I'm actually busy on one of my other projects is actually to produce a compounding pharmacy that 20% of the production can be to actually manufacture peptides. Is one of my sidelines that I'm busy with at the moment.
Okay, all happens in the fucking community of practice recovery coaching course. So we go from sangomas and twassering to peptides and all right.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So I don't know if you lot saw. So well, first of all, let's check in. So we missed the first hour of recording. We're recording now. So let's just check in and build the container. I check in. What a stimulating morning I've had so far. Manto, I'll take you.
Well, the thing is that Dave, by checking, what does that mean?
Just how you'll feel. Well, let's get you'll pick it up. Let's go with Marcus.
Yeah, so checking in, invigorated, learning a lot, and yeah, I'm interested to see what the rest of the container brings. Craig.
Yeah, checking in, enlightened, motivated, and excited.
Anthony?
I'll tag Anthony, sorry.
Yeah, checking in. Glad to be here. Learning a lot, and yeah, I'm feeling good. I was stood up my toaster where I went to the gym before the meeting. My toaster wasn't plugged in, so I was late coming back because I was waiting for the toast to pop up. That wasn't toasting. So I'm feeling hungry.
Okay. All right. So Manto, a check-in is you just check in how you're feeling right here, right now. It's just very brief. And the reason that we do it is to build the container. Yeah.
Yes.
So to create the learning environment for the coaching
Uh-huh.
space. Yeah.
Yes.
So how are
Yes.
you
Yes.
checking in now?
Yeah. Well, the way I'm checking in is by sharing that this is quite an exciting opportunity for me to be part of this conversation. Because from a coaching perspective, it's like you learning so much about, let me say, for lack of a better word, a, a coaching client, understand their world, that intersection we're talking about from Sangoma up to Western medicine, pharmaceuticals, it's like, for me, it's what I'm learning, and I'm excited to continue learning, is that, as a coach, are you aware of the world, of the people that you are working with? So it's quite exciting. I'm looking forward to learn more about that and other things.
Okay. All right. So let's just talk quickly about some events that have happened under the Trump administration. Yep. And Craig mentioned Kennedy and how they are fast tracking psychedelic studies, for want of a better word, to see how traditional plant medicine can assist with trauma. So essentially, they've reversed the Nixon laws that came in under Nixon that banned experimentation or the study of psychedelic treatment. And that was announced a few weeks ago as part of the Trump administration. Now, what upsets me about this, yeah, is basically they've realized, or they're exploring how ibogaine, which is a medicine which comes from which part of Africa is it? I want to say Uganda, but it's not Uganda.
No, it's not Uganda.
Marcus will find it on the computer quickly. But basically, it's traditional medicine. Yep, and a ceremony that people are going through, and that it's meant to assist with opiate treatment. Yep, and ceremony in addiction treatment is very beneficial. People can go off and do all sorts of things. The hard part is the reintegration back into society. Yeah. So people can go off and they can do plant medicine, they can go off and do, they could go to rehab, they could go to jail, they could go to wherever they go to. The hard part is reintegrating back into the world. Yeah. And Bill Wilson, the founder of AA, one of the founders of AA, he got frowned upon when he started to experiment with
Congo,
is it
Cameroon, Gabon, Central West Africa.
Gabon. There we go. Yeah. But he got frowned upon when he started exploring psychedelics in the late 50s, early 60s, because he realized that for people to transform from the alcoholic state of mind, they needed some sort of spiritual experience. And psychedelics can give you that sort of experience, just like fasting and having histrionics in church. Yeah. So as practitioners, as coaches, we need to be aware of the cultural stuff that's happening out there. Yeah. So when Craig talks about different, what's it, peptides. And
Peptides.
different different things that are happening. We need to know about this stuff because the people that we're working with will know about this stuff already. Yeah. So and there was a big cultural shift in South Africa in the treatment world when they legalized marijuana, dacha, ganja, grass, whatever you want to call it, in South African law in 2019. Yep. So the apartheid government really bought into the war on drugs. Yep. And used drug laws to push their agenda through marijuana. Yeah, so people got caught with marijuana, they would be given criminal records, jailed, and once someone's got a criminal record, yep, it becomes very difficult to find employment and things like this because you've got a criminal record around it.
Yes.
Yeah. And marijuana had been a traditional herb that was used in South African traditional medicine for many, many, many years. Yeah. And now that it's been legalized, you're getting the corporate West coming, and coming in with the CBD stuff and genetically modified ganja and blah, blah, blah. So, fuck, it's a thing. It's a thing. Hello, Olivia.
Hello.
Would you like to check in while you've got a mouthful of food?
I've got a banana. Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to have to go at 5:30 because I'm doing another course. Alcohol change.
Okay. Well, I think the
So
expression is "fuck you" then. Jesus Christ, why are you dumping us?
moving on.
Moving on. No, I'm joking. Lovely
Yeah.
to see you, Olivia.
Yeah, I'll stay on till 5:30 and then I'll go back on there.
How's life going?
Yeah, it's good. Oh, good. So Bexley Council people have set me up loads of courses. So
Okay.
I'm
Great.
dipping into them. Yes.
Great.
Yeah,
And you'll most probably find none of them are as good as ours.
obviously. I'm bored already. I'm joking.
And I'll tell you
I'm just checking
why.
the speakers off.
No, I'll tell you why, because the learning style is very different. Like the way that we learn here is very different from a traditional, here's the outcome, here's the lesson, here's the content.
It's not really a course, it's like an information thing about the alcohol change in UK. So we're just talking about how to help people with alcohol, people that are resistant to getting treatment. So like what's the barriers of getting people in the rooms?
And what's the answer to that?
Peptides.
No, that's
We haven't answered that one yet.
well, what do you think it is?
It's just trying to meet people where they're at and just building that rapport with people and understanding the person before treatment starts going really heavy on them.
Before treatment starts going really heavy. So what you're doing is you're doing a intervention prehab work. You're preparing people for what life is going to be like without alcohol.
Yeah.
Because when you live life without alcohol, it is incredibly traumatic because it is so ingrained in the cultures that we live in.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about ibogaine and ritual, and people can go off to different places. They can get well no matter what they do. The hard part is the reintegration back into society.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's where there's a lot of things missing.
Yeah. So and we were just talking about how marijuana has been legalized in South Africa. Yeah, but here in the UK, it's still criminalized. Yeah,
Yeah.
and how that poses a problem to treatment. Yeah, so you leave treatment. Yeah, but you're going to a family Christmas dinner. Yeah, there's a lot of alcohol around because traditionally it's part of the culture. Yep. You go to a funeral, a traditional funeral in South Africa, there's a lot of alcohol there.
In
Yeah.
Ireland, there's a lot of alcohol as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
At a
that we
wake,
know.
a wake. Yeah, Ireland you
Yeah.
have wake. In South Africa you have after tears. I think it's called after tears. Yes, Manto?
Yes. Yeah.
So basically you go and get pissed at the
Yeah.
funeral and
Celebrating their life. It's a celebration of life afterwards, isn't it? After they're gone. Oh, it's crazy.
Dave, just a quick one, you know, for my sons at one stage as a stopgap, I did interventions. And we're finding in South Africa that the psychosis on marijuana is almost close to the psychosis on crystal meth. So they may have legalized it, and obviously they're also pocketing from the tax benefit. It has been a big thing for them to actually make money from the taxes of it. So it's a double-edged sword, because now kids think it's legal, and the amount they're now saying you can actually keep at home. You can roll. I never did it. You can roll 100 joints. It's a hell of a lot of marijuana to have for a person to have in their possession. It's a bit ridiculous.
But the other side of it is a lot of this ganja is hydroponic, so it's grown to really increase the content. So it's not like, you know, like naturally grown. Yeah, it's intensified. So it's like going from drinking mead, yeah, or low alcohol beer to drinking whiskey all the time, yeah, in the same amount. So it's yeah. Anyway,
it's that much stronger. Exactly what you're saying. It's just that strong. And a last question: are you also finding, you were talking about the psychedelics? Obviously, I'm sure in the UK they also use the induced ketamine treatment now, and then the other one over here that is done illegally is DMT, the spirit molecule. You know, so I don't know if that's happening in your part of the world.
all that shit's floating everywhere.
All that shit's floating.
So
There's a film
Olivia
on
works. Yeah, go for it,
there's
Olivia.
a film on Netflix about psychedelics, if anybody's seen it. About this kind of professor, and he's gone to meet this woman that kind of does all the kind of mushrooms and stuff like that, and he's testing them all out as that. And she said to him, the most powerful one is to have smoke squirted up your nose, and then it kind of hits the back of your brain. It's on Netflix. Have a look.
Is it called How to Change Your Mind?
I don't know what it's called. I can't remember, man.
So there's all this traditional medicine now that's making a kind of a comeback, that's being squeezed into the Western world, that has criminalized all of this sort of stuff, because the drug laws were really there to oppress culture and was really driving the American Republican war on communism political agenda.
And hippies.
Yeah. It's a proper fuck up, people. And thank
Yeah,
God
well,
thank God we're not there to sort that out. We're sorting out recovery. So what does recovery
yes.
mean for you?
Peace, family, the environment, seeing the environment instead of like not seeing it. If that makes sense.
Manto, how old are you?
I'm 51, 51.
Okay, so you know about the Ubuntu education, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm from that, actually.
Yeah, from
that
that
system.
Yeah, okay. So just to let you all know, the Ubuntu education was based on race. Yeah. So if you're a white person, you were educated for white collar worker jobs. If you were colored, which is basically mixed race, to say it very loosely, and most probably get it wrong, but you were trained, educated for type of tradesman's work. And then if you were traditional black, you were educated for menial work like mining, gardening, domestic work. So the actual education system that you came from was very structured. So you would only be educated in that area. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And there's that oppression from that education system still
Yes.
lived today. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Olivia, you come from Ireland, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. And how old are you?
48.
Okay, so you'd know about the Magdalene laundries.
Sort of. I can't remember them.
Okay. So that's when young women were taken from their homes and
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. My mum was. My mum
yeah.
was 16 when she fell pregnant and she was brought to a nunnery.
Okay,
And then she
okay,
had to marry my dad or give the baby up.
okay.
She
So
married him.
yeah, so do you want to enlighten us around that, please?
As far as I know, because my parents died when I was quite young, so I don't really know much about their history. But yeah, my dad was about 21. My mum was 16 and she fell pregnant. She was taken away to nunneries throughout the pregnancy. Nelly, sorry. And then yeah, she had that choice to get married or to give the child up for adoption. So they kept the baby and then they went on to have 10 more. And in that relationship, my mom was heavily abused by my dad, physically violent throughout her life from 16 years of age, right up until the time he died. He died when he was 49. She died when she was 48. Yeah.
I suddenly feel quite sad.
Don't feel sad, it's fine. It's
No,
like
no,
such a long time.
no,
Thank
no. I do, and the reason I feel sad is just the time that our parents grew up in, and and the environment that was around them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my
I had
mum
to
got
understand what my dad went through with his parents to understand the reason why he was doing what he did. So his generation before, like his grandparents, was the same kind of thing. His dad beat him all the time. So he
Yeah.
came from that and then he thought that was the right thing to do and he done it to my mum. Yeah.
so this is where the intergenerational trauma and learnings and teachings come through and get passed on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something else we have to break. Yeah. So
I was lucky. My sisters married really good men, like really lovely, genuine men, and they were my role models when I was growing up. Not my dad. They were.
what makes a good man, Olivia?
He treats his wife with respect and love and gratitude, you
And
know,
what does that look like?
happiness, content, peaceful. You know, I grew up all around them, you know, they were looking after us. Because there was 5 young girls, we were all 5 under 18. And then one of my sisters, she took us, she lived in the same house as us. And then she went and got married, and I moved to another sister's because she moved right in the middle of Ireland where there's no houses and fields. There's just fields and fields and fields and cows and sheep. And I was like, I was coming up to 16 and I was like, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that shit. And then I got to 18 and I came to England. So I was just escaping it all.
Okay. And then what happened?
I met my ex-husband, had a baby, had another one, got divorced, met Kean's dad, didn't like him. And yeah, now I'm single
And
and
when
chilled
did
and
the
relaxed
alcoholism start?
after my husband left.
Your first one or your second one?
I was only married once.
Oh,
My first husband. I was with him for 18 years. He met somebody else, had an affair, went off with somebody else. And yeah, I just kind of, I started going out more because he was having the kids at the weekends because we were sharing the kids. And I kind of liked that too much. It was kind of a child in an adult body, if that makes sense. Because I'd done all my growing up was like very intense.
So now it was your time to party.
Party, and I partied a little bit too hard, and
You
it
think?
happened. I think. Well, I've got liver cirrhosis, so I know.
Yeah. Listen, love, you wouldn't have ended up here if for good behavior. I promise you that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How does it feel telling us that, Olivia?
When I was in rehab and I told them about this, the counselor said that I look like a robot. I've got no compassion or no feelings towards it. So you just like, it's like a manuscript that you're just reading off.
So
I don't
you
know if
haven't
I'm
told me how
protecting
you're
myself.
feeling sharing it.
No, I don't mind. I don't. I feel okay. It happened such a long time ago, you know. Yeah, and I don't want to disrespect my parents' memory in going, oh, my life is shit. Oh, like, I've had a really bad time, poor me. I won't do that, especially to my mum. I'd never do that, you know.
So you love her a lot, huh?
My mum was a special lady, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's lovely. Now you're going to make me upset.
Okay. And if your mum was watching down on you now, how would she feel about your progress?
If I was like going through my alcoholism, she probably would shake me and go, what the fuck's wrong
No,
with you? But
now.
no, she would be proud, you know. I went home after I recovered and I sat beside her grave and I had a good old chat with her. So yeah.
So your
And my
mum's
kids
with that.
pick up,
Your
my
mum's
kids pick up that when I speak about my parents, I always scared my mum. I never mention my dad. It's crazy, isn't it?
okay. So if your mum's with the ancestors now, yeah?
Pardon?
If your mum's
Nelly.
with that, if your mum's with the ancestors now, yeah, she's stirring up the dog, yeah.
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 Stop talking about me.
Yeah. And yeah, so she'd be proud of you being here right now.
Yeah, I think she would have been proud anyway. She's just that type of lady. You know, she loved her children. She teached us a lot of love. There was a lot of love in our family, and there still is. We're still very much together, you know. Do everything, like birthday celebrations, everything. There's always something going on. You know, we're always at the end of the
Close, huh?
phone. So
Huh?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
a proper tribe, huh?
Yeah, I'm probably the quietest one out of the whole lot of them. They're a little bit crazy sometimes, and I just think,
Oh,
oh,
fucking
God,
hell.
getting too much for me. Oh, fucking hell, I'm drained. I got home for a weekend. I'm like, I want to go back to England.
All right, you need to check out now. Yeah, you've got
Yeah,
your
I need to
card.
check out. Yes, they're there. Right. Bye.
How are you checking out?
I'm good. Yeah. I'll
Thank
let you
you.
know what this is all about on
All right.
Thursday.
Thank
All
you
right,
for
bye.
sharing with us.
Right, bye.
See you
Bye.
later.
David, I wanted to share something over there. In South Africa, domestic violence, especially when COVID was on, my eldest daughter, she's now qualified physio. She was doing a comp serve at Baragwanath Hospital. And when COVID came on and they put the ban on alcohol, we've got a massive problem with domestic violence. She said to me, there was nothing. It just quietened down. So it just shows you what alcohol actually does with domestic violence, especially in our country. I don't know if it's the same in the UK.
So my dad would never fuck my mum up sober.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah. And my mum would never give my dad reason to fuck her up when she was sober. And that sounds very sexist to say, but the tension in their marriage, they'd both get pissed and they'd both act in a way that would lead to violent outcome. Yeah. And as a kid, I would sit with that panic of knowing, okay, I know where this is going to go. Yeah, so I picked up a sixth sense to read the situation of like, oh fuck, okay. And to try and diffuse that, I took on the persona of being a clown to try and crack jokes so the adults wouldn't fuck each other up. And that mask has lived with me all my life. Yeah, so whenever I get anxious, I make inappropriate jokes because I'm trying to defuse the situation. And then I'm not taken seriously because people don't understand my anxiety. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah. So when it comes to leadership in organizations, because I don't behave like the other leaders, because I take things very seriously, I just mask it with humor. People think that I'm not serious about what's going on. When actually I take this work fucking seriously. Oh, now I want to cry. Because if you'd understood how fucking important this work is, yeah, if you could actually fucking see what was going on in my soul around how dedicated I am to this, yeah, maybe I'd be taken a bit more seriously. Because the world is on fire, people. And we're watching it burn. And I want to fucking run around and shake like, can you not see the fire, people?
You okay there, Dave? That seemed to be very, very emotional for you.
Yeah, no, I'm very okay. I actually want to ask the rest of the world, are you lot fucking okay? Like, can you not fucking see what's going? Like, are you asleep? Like, fucking wake up, people. That's so in that sense, I feel, Jesus Christ, I am okay. But people don't like, they don't like what's being said at times. So when you're coaching someone and you start that transformation with someone, people are often say, yeah, come transformation, da, 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 da. But when the shit hits the fan, and people go, yeah, well, we didn't mean that sort of transformation, actually, you know? We don't want to give up our privilege, you know? It's like, yeah, I mean, they're like, yes, we must transform. Yes, it's very not, but like, fuck. It does activate me. It does hook me. It does, like, fuck. It's very difficult to go back to sleep once you've been woken up.
Yeah.
Dave, can I throw another question over here? So I still got a lot of guilt. My ex-wife, her father was an alcoholic, and he used to beat her, and I used to protect her. And then obviously I ended up becoming an addict, and I never ever hit my wife, but I emotionally abused her. And that still hits me hard because she really didn't deserve that. I've learned to forgive myself, but that still sits with me. So, there's two sides to this thing. The one is it can be physical, but there's also the emotional damage that gets done.
So what would you like from the container around this?
I'm all good. I'm just expressing it, Dave. I think I've made peace with it. I've got a great relationship with my ex-wife. Obviously, she's the mother of my children. I've known her for over 40 years, 43 years to be exactly. And we get on really, really well now. I actually feel bad because I think she actually likes me now. I'm obviously a very different person to the person I was when I got into active. We were married I knew her from 16 till 33. And then at 33, then I started going off the rails and really actively going a bit crazy from 37 till 54. But we've got an incredible relationship now. You know, we're best friends. We talk about everything. She comes on holiday with us, so there's no qualms. You know, only thing that really hits home for me is, like, I wish that she could maybe meet someone else. Not I wish, but, and she'll always say to me, "You've damaged me too much." And I think that's still something that I struggle with. So maybe the container can give me advice on how to deal with that.
What changed within you? What changed within you to make you feel that you needed to be different towards your wife? Like, how did it feel inside that moment where you're like, "Fuck, I'm doing it again"?
Can I tell you something, Marcus? For me, I think even in my active addiction, eventually I learned that I just got such a drive to win. The arguments would be just because I could never be wrong, you know. And I think in addiction we like that, you know. So, but what changed for me is I've changed as a person. Recovery's given me the opportunity to find me, you know, to embrace who I am authentically as an empath, you know, and as I'm really a kind, caring, loving person when I'm clean and sober. And, you know, part of that journey has been, you know, rebuilding relationships, rebuilding trust, and learning about myself, you know, because in active, I didn't really know who I was. So, you know, I did things out of just the competitive nature, which is horrible. You know, I'll even give you another example. I'm really good and quick with the mouth. And if someone would give me something to mock them, I don't know if the right word is banter in the UK, whatever, I'd rip a person apart because I was good at it. And it's just sad that we can become like that, you know. So this would be the same thing with an argument with my wife. I just could not live, no matter how. And eventually I learned I can't do this because it's not about the argument. It's not about me having to win, you know. So now I've changed totally. In other words, I can see when I'm wrong, you know, and I can actually put myself. I think that's part of my recovery journey is learn to you know. I know you're not a 12-stepper, but to become selfless because I was so selfish before. You know, to actually put myself in other people's shoes and understand other people can also have a bad day. You know, when people are angry or whatever, what are they actually been through? You know, I don't have to, like Dave actually talks about, I think I've become awakened. I'm awakened. And once you're awake, you can't go back to sleep.
It's a lot. It's a lot that changes within us. It's a process as well. It just doesn't just happen. I understand that, and thank you for sharing that.
Manto, how are you feeling? What have you learned today?
Fuck my master's degree. The you know, I want to be a coach, but this is the real deal because as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, you know, I buried my dad in 2020, and but how do I stop wanting to go in peace on his grave? Because I'm still asking myself, you know, Dad, what did I ever do to you? Why did you do the things that you were doing? Getting drunk in the township of Mdanzane, you know, beating up mom, and we didn't even want you to come back home because we're so scared of you, even when you are sober. So, you know, I have my own issues. My master's degree didn't help me, you know, like right now I'm in tears. I mean, it didn't help me with that. So I imagine that, you know, I need to empty myself of something so that, you know, this is the container, and it has so much that, you know, words can't describe it, you know. I just want to thank you for allowing me to be here. And I do hope that whatever it costs, whether there's finances involved in it, I just want to be here first before I go out there and be a support to others.
So, Manta, there's three things. Yeah, there's the theory, of coaching. There's the practice of coaching, and then there's the process. And what you're experiencing here is the process, where your own
Yes.
story can get activated by other people's story, and how can you manage that or contain that
Yes.
and use
Yes.
it in a way that's beneficial for your clients or your coachees or the organization you're
Yes.
working with. Yep. So
Yes.
you're learning resilience here by the going through the process. Yeah. So this is a
Yes.
classroom where you're learning the resilience to hear stories, and it's activating your wound around your father and the history that you have.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you say, I want to piss on my father's
Yes.
grave, you've obviously got a lot of anger there still. Yeah. And it's
Yes.
great that
Yes.
you're bringing it and that we're becoming aware of it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
just on the money side of things, this is like heroin dealers. Yeah, the first few classes are free, and once you're hooked, then we're gonna get you.
Christian, I'm okay with that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
again, we're using humor to cover, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah. All right. So we're coming up. It's now coming up to 11:45 here in the UK, 1:45 in South Africa, and we need to
Yes.
start thinking about closing the container. Yeah. So we build the container, we open it up, we find out what the agenda is, and then we just go with it. So we had no idea where this was going to go today. And wow, fucking thank God. What a wonderful fucking container we've had. I've certainly gotten a lot out of it. I've certainly learned a lot out of it. So let's start to capture some of the learnings and then some of the homework, some steps that you guys are going to take to move you forward into your recovery, whatever that looks like.
I like your style, David.
Me too.
Authenticity and you're not mechanistic, right? Because that's one thing I need to overcome. Coming to a session, let's say myself and the coach, and mechanically trying to be the what you call the expert, like the doctor. It's like you are partaking of the psyche of the coach, because I really like your style. I've never heard something like this. I mean, the education, you've been to vets, it's so mechanistic, it's so it's like they are creating machines, but we're not machines. And we're going to go out there and mess people's lives. So it's one of the things that I'm learning from here. That it's I don't know how to put it in words. Like be yourself, but authenticity, and also letting go of course. I mean, without overwhelming the client. I'm sure. So, but thanks, man. Thank you.
Okay. Who's next? What are some of your learnings today?
So I guess, no, I don't guess. What I'm learning today is the concept of fluidity and not being rigid, and in many ways, so like not being controlling, looking at some past behaviors and how I've been indoctrinated, how I've been indoctrinated to think that, we have to follow this path. And being a coach, just being able to sit impartially with my own belief systems, with knowing that I'm right with the world that's around me, and that's my part in my life, but actually delving into other people's life and being fluid, understanding where they're coming from, not disregarding their belief system, but actually working with it and using that as part of the the discourse, the therapy, I guess, that's happening in this room, it comes individually from the person. So I'm not applying something to someone else. I'm using what is already in someone to explore more. So yeah, that fluidity, just not being anchored or rigid in one school of thought, and exploring others as it arises with authenticity. And yeah, I learned a lot about Craig today, and a little bit more in depth with the conversation that you and Manto had earlier, David. Like, I'm getting little glimpses of what life is actually like in another world, and I can apply that to anyone. Someone's difference in profession, someone's difference in location or continent. We all have these differences that we just don't understand. And I think in a professional world, our professionalism hardens us and expects us to just know everything, and really we don't. And I think that's part of the collective disease, that we find ourselves hiding behind this clipboard and these qualifications and things. And really, it's not authentic. It's quite oppositional, really. But yeah, it's taken a lot from today. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Marcus. So there's a duel going between Anthony and Craig. Let's see who's in.
You want to go, Anthony? You want to
Yeah,
go?
I can go. Yeah, I guess, learning how how different cultures, the same problem is viewed very differently, and depending on the culture you're involved in, or but the outcomes tend to be the same. Um, and I think, yeah, I learned about those patterns the self-awareness we get when we are in recovery, um, and the ability to break those deeply ingrained behaviors and patterns. Um, and yeah, I guess just how fucked the world is. It is. And I think when you're in recovery and you start to awaken to it all, you get to see that through a very clear lens, I think. And it's good to be around people who are passionate about trying to do better and make the world a better place.
I guess it's me. Yeah, I think I'm loving these containers, Dave. I was absent for a while because I was so busy, but back for the second one, and I'm just taking so much out of it. I'm learning different styles. I'm learning. There's so much new knowledge that I'm gaining. I'm also learning that, we all actually had to just help and guide other people. Most people know themselves better than we do, and to guide them, not to tell them what to do, and like you say, it's great to learn a bit about you, Mantu. We come from the same part of the world. We've obviously but we both trying to help other people, and yeah, I've learned a lot about Marcus in the last two sessions as well, and thanks for all your insight. Yeah, I'm just loving it, to be open-minded and to actually learn that you don't have to be rigid. David, I agree 100% with Mantu, is to learn that it's not just outcome-based, like you were talking to Olivia, you do this and that's how you do it, and I think that's the fascinating, the beautiful thing is, again, I've got a new one for it. I didn't bring it to the table this week, but I had a client that told me that I've seen him 7 times and he tried to commit suicide, and he thought up that he's got this relationship with the entity for the last 5 years. So, you get things thrown at you from all different angles, and he was like looking at me like, why am I not shocked? And I said to him, well, that feeling that the entity is giving you, that's the feeling that crystal meth and stuff gave me, and I've learned to live my life differently. So I'm loving it. Thank you to everybody.
Well, all right. So you've all got to register on wedocharlie.com. wedocharlie.com. Yeah.
What is that for, David? Sorry.
Yeah. So just register there. So the UACT Trust does three things. It trains people, empowers people, and improves treatment. Yeah. So we've been doing a lot of training people on the school platform to train them in recovery coaching. Yeah. Now I want to try and create a virtual space for supporting people around addiction recovery. Yeah. And so I've created this site called WeDoCharlie.com. Yep. And just trying to build I'm going to say a virtual treatment center there without saying virtual treatment center.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. Let's rather say a harm reduction community. Yep. It's basically a place where we can fish for vulnerable people so they can come into the cult. That was a joke, people. That was a joke.
Why are you putting it like that?
It's a joke.
Is there free Kool-Aid on arrival?
Almost.
Charles Manson.
I'm a little bit far away to taste that Kool-Aid, Marcus.
No, you're not, mate. No, you're not.
Don't
It's
say that.
It's a modern era. We've got Amazon. We can deliver it right to your door.
All right,
David.
let's start the checkout. I really enjoyed today. Thank you all for coming and teaching me. I check out with a lot of joy, and I'm going to tag Anthony.
Yeah, I think similar. Very checking out, feeling like I've learned something, and grateful to be back here and not on a coaching session with you guys. I will tag Craig.
I'm checking out, really motivated, excited, and already looking forward to Thursday session. So yeah, thanks, guys. I'll tag Marcus.
Thanks, Craig. I'm checking out with love, reflective. Yeah, I'm going to carry that into the rest of my day, and I'll see you all on Thursday. And I'll tag you, man, too.
Well, checking out here, I can say that it was phenomenal, beautiful. Loved it all, and looking forward to interacting with all of you guys. Of course, David and I are going to speak on the side because my situation is a little bit unique, because when I approached him, it was me opening my own consultancy, but I just felt like a patient or let me say a patient, today. So it was phenomenal. It was wonderful. There's no words for it. It was wonderful. Wow. That's all I can say. That's how I check out.
Cool.
And welcome. It's good to have you, Manto, by the way. I forgot to say that.
It's great to have you, Manto. Yeah, hopefully you can come on Thursday morning, same time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will.
We're looking forward to seeing you.
Okay. All right, everyone. Talk to you later. Lots of love.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
Bye.